Hello, and welcome back to God Lives Within. Saturday, I think it's December 16th, 2023. The moon is in Aquarius. I do believe I can feel my spirit has been lifted. My chrism is rising. The anointed oil of the soul, the connection to all that is, the divine spark inside each one of us. Coming on tonight with a message from the dark, from my tent. Just with a status update. Finishing out another week here of work. Extremely tiring. But the past 2 days have been kind of rewarding, so I wanted to come on and talk about it. I've been working now for a month at this place. I can't really say where right now due to the Satanists that are after me, due to their tricks and schemes to entrap me and ensnare me in crimes that I don't even commit. They're trying to paint me into a person that I'm not, or they were. I believe it's all coming to an end. I believe Daddy has stepped in. For those of you who don't know, Daddy is God for me. Since my real father is gone, left this earth plane, and my stepfather has disowned me. So now I'm left with my true daddy, which honestly I couldn't have asked for a better daddy than God. So I just wanted to come on and talk about the vibration change in my work environment. Starting off, it was extremely uptight, extremely left-brained, and egocentric. I mean, to the point of asking you 3 times the same question if you did this or you did that. And getting the same answer every time, still asking over and over and over. That's how meticulous and analytical and left-brained and paranoid these beings are. But here, the past few days, as I'm finally starting to be able to understand them clearly and perform what they ask of me. We'll get into that more later, but right now I gotta leave it at that. There's been a huge shift in the vibration. Not only do I work the entire 9 hours, other than a quick lunch break to eat a salad, without stopping every single day, 5 to 6 days a week, but I also perform what I do at an extremely fast, extremely efficient level, and make everybody else's job around me very easy due to my helpful nature, due to my Aquarian spirit. I was sent here to Earth to help people, to guide people, to heal people. And that's what I do naturally without really trying to do anything but help. And so that is kind of the message tonight. In the face of darkness, in the face of evil, in the face of those who don't know what I know, who aren't spiritually connected like me. I just noticed that my energy is starting to permeate the building. Everybody's mood is lightening up, starting to relax, almost no yelling at all. Whereas I've seen almost everybody in the building get into a fight, a verbal altercation. Over my 3.5, 4 weeks of being there, it's kind of, we'll call it widespread panic. Just one of my favorite bands, but that's kind of the demeanor of the building before this change occurred. Now, I just want to go over why this is the way it is. So, as you've heard, the Hermetic principle, as above, so below, as within, so without. This is what's happening at my workplace. It took a change in me in order for my energy to change those around me. And for the first 3 weeks, I was being yelled at, being talked to derogatorily, however that word is, you say that word. I was being kind of stepped on and abused. Brian, do this, Brian, do that, Brian, do this, Brian, do that. But the past 2 days, thanks to Daddy giving me a frequency upgrade in my third eye. It helped me to to settle in, to be calm, to be peaceful. And what does that mean? So that means that I'm no longer in my head. I'm in the moment and I'm present. And all I have to do is just be. All I have to do is stay present in my situation. And naturally, without trying, my frequency is so high that it's magnetic. And as such, it affects everyone around me. So just as I'm an empath, an extreme empath, which means everyone's energy around me I can feel, which means everyone's energy around me has an extreme effect on me. The same goes in the reverse. What I'm trying to say is, as within, so without. When I calmed down, the energy around me calmed down. The people around me calmed down. They stopped getting on me. They stopped talking down to me like I was an idiot. And so we can see immediately in the past 2 days a totally different staff. Extremely busy for 2 days and no problems, no hiccups. Just smooth sailing and good vibrations from others. And so that's the message of this video. If you want to change your outer world, you got to change your inner world. Now, due to the black magic and the spell work coming against me, it was extremely hard for me to be grounded. Let's just put it that way. Due to my circumstances, living in a tent, being homeless, being without a car, and without anybody around me, I've been in my head quite a bit. I've also felt like I was in hell quite a bit. You know, laying out in your tent when it's 20-some degrees, waking up when it's 20-some degrees is not all that easy. But Daddy says, how can you lead people out of hell if you yourself don't go through hell? And so now I get why I'm here, along with the security of being where nobody can find me, along with being separated from having family or friends around me. Like I told you, I'm an extreme empath. So my stepfather's extremely harsh and negative frequency has a detrimental impact on my soul. In fact, it was one of the causes of my addictions earlier in life, along with the people doing black magic on me. My stepfather had an extreme effect on me as an empath. He loves to watch the news. He loves to worry about money, even though he's got plenty and really shouldn't be worried about anything. He's always worried. So others are being around me if they're not in high vibration, ultimately bring me down in vibration. There is no, I can't change that fact until I raise my chrism oil, until I raise the oil, the Christos, the oil of gladness, the love frequency. As an empath, these low frequencies and negative energies are going to have an effect on me. But that's why I was put where I am, for protection, for isolation, and to raise my chrism oil. So tonight's message is, once again, if you want your outer world to change, you must first change your inner world. This is true for everybody. This is a hermetic principle that is our laws of the universe. I've experienced this before in other environments, and I can tell you it's true. My frequency can change a room. Let's just put it that way. Because ultimately, I have no care for self, meaning I'm just a totally selfless human being, other than when I was addicted to drugs, and then I was the total opposite. And as a selfless human being, I try to uplift everything around me, everyone around me. I don't care what they look like. I don't care what they act like. Don't get me wrong, if they're like my stepfather or stuck in a negative rut, I'm going to get away from them very quickly. There is no doubt about that, but I will try while I'm around them to uplift them no matter what. So, for all of you who do come across this message later, as of right now, I'm being shadow banned. Most of my videos have 0 views. So it's pretty obvious what's going on. And all of the videos about the government have next to no views. It's pretty obvious. That's okay. Daddy's gonna throw me in the spotlight at some point. And there will be no hiding my videos after that. So yeah, this video is about doing the work, going within, changing your inside world in order to reflect the same thing on the outside, the outer world, the world you see with your eyes, the beings that are around you, the energies that are around you. You have the power to change your environment, to invoke higher frequencies, not only to come into your life, but to raise those lower frequency beings around you to a higher frequency. Trying to remember what a girl said tonight at work. Something about herself which was something like, I'm not always a good person. Yeah, that's what she said. And I turned and I said, you're a perfect person. You just don't know it yet. And that's the point. We can focus on our external we can focus on our flaws or whatever. We can focus on our problems, such as me. A perfect example is me right now. I can focus on being homeless. I can focus on my stepfather telling me I can't come take care of my brother's dog Monday night, which I raised the dog. I love that dog more than I love him. Just being honest at this point. I could focus on that. I could focus on living in a tent. I could focus on being homeless. I could focus on not having very much money. I could focus on not having a car. I could focus on my phone bill not being turned on right now. What else? I could focus on not having a kitchen to cook in. I mean, there's a million things I could be negative and down about right now. But that's not going to do anything but bring in bad frequencies and vibrations to my world. And so I don't. Prior to the previous 2 days, I've been dreading going to work. Been in my head about it. I've been asking Daddy, when is this going to end? And the simple answer is, it's going to end when I make it end. Now, I'm kind of tied to what's going on in the world and God's plan to save the earth. And so I've been stuck this past year, not being able to bring in my manifestations and blessings. And, I've cried out to Daddy. I've done everything humanly possible to change, to serve God, and to serve everyone around me, to the point of just giving away my money when I was making good money, to the point of just giving my then girlfriend $800 that my mom gave me to see her for a week, just because I knew she was struggling for money, to the point of giving her, I forgot how much, I think $150 more, even though I only had a few $100s and was out in Las Vegas and lived on the East Coast and didn't even have a job. This is what I mean by selfless. I'm not saying these things I was doing was right, because ultimately you need to take care of yourself first, monetarily. We live in a world that requires money, so you must take care of self first. You must know thyself first in order to be able to help others. It's a lesson I had to learn. I would overtip everywhere I went. I would loan people money. And that can lead to problems. Humans tend to try to take advantage of other humans that they think they can. And that's what happened to me in a few instances. But that's okay. We had to learn lessons, so that's what we did. When I say we, I mean me and Daddy, me and God. And so this past year, has had some good points, but has been the toughest year of my life by far. In fact, I died. I committed suicide this year due to the karmic energies being sent to me, due to the moon magic being thrown at me, and just due to due to a sexually transmitted demon that was put on me, cords that were attached to me. My energy was being drained. It was being siphoned out by these demons, by these Satanists, by these cowards, by these lowlifes, by these bottom feeders that have no energy from God themselves. So, just wanted to come on, even though I was in the dark. I was laying here meditating, doing a mantra that said, I will make a video tomorrow. And not 2 minutes later, I'm starting a video. Point being, your inner world will change your outer world, just as I just said. I've been frustrated lately because my living situation, being homeless, it's extremely hard to live in purpose, to do my videos, to do my research and my book reviews, to do other series I have planned, 7 Hermetic Principles individually, the book review chapter by chapter, insight by insight on the Celestine prophecy, and on and on and on, allegories of the Bible, metaphors of the Bible, and so on. No need to list them all. So as I sit in my world, my outer world is finally turning for the better. I'm finally able to relax. I'm finally able to be at peace, and more than likely, if it's not too cold, be able to meditate again. Maybe even in the cold. Who knows? But point being, everything is turning for the better. Even with my stepfather acting like a little shit. And I hope you see this video, because that's what you act like. A little spoiled ass baby. A little pathetic Paul. And by the way, I'll be changing my name as soon as possible back to what it's supposed to be. And the gematria of my last name, my real last name, not my adopted, is 77. My first name is 44. And my middle name, which is Thomas, is 76. Equaling my First and last equals 121, which is the temples, the twin towers, the two ones, with the two in the middle, the divine feminine energy, which signifies my feminine energy. I operate, even though I'm a masculine, I operate in feminine energy. But I will go on and say that you have to operate in both energies. Because I operate in total feminine energy, that means I am receptive and submissive, and loving, caring, and nurturing, and kind at all turns. But until I stood up for myself at work, until I voiced to my boss that you make me nervous, I could see his brain start turning when I said that. That's all it took, and I said it in an extremely kind way. I said, you make me nervous. And he didn't say a word, but I could see him start to think. And I said, just saying, you make me nervous, so just so you know, that's what I said. Anyway, until I stood up for myself, things stayed the same. And now that I've spoke up for myself, the tides have turned. The left brain egomaniac bosses have changed, and that's dramatic. Quite dramatic to see them change. But so yeah, my first and last name's gematria is 121. I see this number all day long. There's many, what's the word? Many different combinations of it on the clock. When you look at the clock, you can see 121, when the clock's on 1, when the clock's at 12, when the clock's, anyway, you get the point. You can see it. There's a whole bunch of combinations. But I see it all day, a whole lot. Now, 77 is the gematria for Christ. And 44 is hope and faith. 77, they're both, what do you call them? I want to say power numbers, but I don't think that's right. They're both, anyway, they're double digits of the same number, meaning they're more powerful. I can't remember that word I'm looking for. Sorry, folks, I'm extremely tired. But anyway, 777, extremely lucky number. But you take my middle name and my last name, gematria, and you get 153, 76 and 77, 153. Actually, no, it didn't. Yes, it is. 153. Now, how many? I forgot, but it's in the Bible. And when you turn 153 around, it's 351. The gematria of the entire alphabet is 351. God speaks through numbers is 351. that might be slightly off. It's God communicates through numbers or God speaks through numbers. I can't remember which. I'm tired, folks. I'm sorry. 153 is in the Bible with Jesus. I just cannot remember. That's how tired I am. I cannot even remember. Anyhow, point being, it's God communicates through numbers is 351. And if you do A, B, C, D, all the way to Z, that's 351. But point being, the codes inside of gematria are like, it's like binary code in computers. It has extreme meaning. It's a synchronicity that was written by God, so it means more than anything else. And it has its spiritual meaning, but it comes into practicality in the physical. Once you're connected, you can see these things. You can see the synchronicities and what they mean to you. And they're not going to mean this to other people. When you try to explain to them, they're not going to have the aha moment that you're having on your ascension path. But this is how it works. When you connect to these numbers, the angels and God start connecting to you with messages. Such as 9/11, if you want to do numerology. Why did the Satanists pick 9/11? Very significant date. Some say it's Jesus' real birthday. You have the 9, and then you have the 2 1s, which are the Twin Towers. What did they do on 9/11? They brought down the Twin Towers. What are the Twin Towers? They're the two hemispheres of your brain, the left and the right, which in order to connect with God here on earth, you must what's the word? Basically, you must join your 2 temples. You must use them both. Most people don't use their right brain at all, the 90 to 93% of their brain power. In order to tap into that, you have to do the work. You have to raise your frequency. You have to raise your feminine and your masculine energy to join together so you can use them both. The left brain being your masculine energy, extremely aggressive, analytical, action-oriented, goal-oriented, and your right brain, your loving energy, your compassionate, your divine energy, if you ask me. Women are way more connected to daddy than most men. If the man hasn't done the work, then more than likely he's stuck in his ego. I think we can all agree on that. For how shallow men think. This is the reason. Forgot where I was headed with all this. I'm about to get off. Because this feels like this video is long already. Where was I headed? Anyhow. So, if those of you who don't know what gematria is, I would say find someone on YouTube that's teaching it, or do some research and look into it. Pretty cool synchronicity as far as the ascension path goes is numerology and gematria. So that was just kind of a tangent about the gematria of my name. Only because today I realized I had my last name's gematria wrong. I thought it was 79. It's actually 77. 79 would be the alchemical symbol of gold. 79 is what it is on the periodic table. But that's what I thought it was this whole time. But turns out it's even better. It's 77. It's a gematria for Christ. And 74 would be the gematria of Jesus, in case you were wondering. 77 and 74, I guess together they're 151. So Jesus Christ would be 151. So that's a big number as well. The twin temples with the 5, the grace of 5 in between. See, that shows you how gematria works right there. You put the metaphor of Jesus Christ with the numbers, 5 standing for grace, 5 standing for defense, which Jesus was an ascended master. All about grace and all about defense, using prayer, using meditation, using God as his defense, using the spirit world as his defense. So that's just kind of an illustration of how gematria works. 151, Jesus Christ. And all the numbers are God's numbers. The Satanists try to, just as 9/11, they try to steal God's sacred numbers, and do their evil deeds on those dates, on his holy dates, to rub it in your face, to say we own you, to say we have disconnected you from God, to say you are our slaves. This is why they did 9/11 on that date. And it may be Jesus Christ's real birthday. I believe Jesus ascended in December. But I could be wrong. It's irrelevant, really. So this video is coming to an end. The entire purpose of this video is to go within, to start doing the inner work that will change your outer world. Until you do, you will continue on in suffering, no matter how big or how small that suffering is. The world is ramping up with its chaos, and so in order to ascend above this chaos, you're going to have to do the inner work, and God's going to illuminate the path for you. He's going to lead you right to people like me, people that know his truth. He's not going to lead you astray. We all want to be with God, other than the Satanists. So, however big or how small that is, an atheist is just one that's allowed the Satanists to disconnect them from God, giving their power away to the Satanists, basically. And in the end, here shortly, You're going to have a choice to make. Do you want to stay with the Satanists and their worldly ways? I don't know how to say it. In their love and their greed for money, in their lust of sex and perversion? Are you going to want to step on other people just to make a few dollars, to keep up with the Joneses, as the program goes? You're going to have a choice to make. Stay separated from God or stay a slave to Satan. It's really going to be very clear what path for you to take, I believe strongly. That's how much God loves you. He's willing to take down Satan. He's willing to take down these witches and these warlocks that are coming against me and others, and have been controlling the earth for a very long time. Have been running the matrix with precision, pinpoint precision and accuracy, just like a missile from the U.S. government. He's going to take them down. And those that don't surrender to God's will be destroyed. There is no doubt in my mind. And what happens in the afterlife for them is just what happens. We leave that up to God. We don't need to dabble our toes in Satan's waters. If you stoop down to their vibration, you become that vibration. Therefore, we set our sights on God and healing and knowing thyself, and self-care in order to meet God face to face in a land called Peniel, which we will all learn about. It's another some more videos that will be made. Is raising your chrism, what it means, how to do it, what to expect on the journey, what to do when you get at the end and you're calling your blessings in, how to keep your frequency high in order to get there. It's what I'm going through right now, so I will be talking over that a lot in the upcoming weeks. So just as my stepfather has disowned me, it took me about, 4 or 5 hours to realize that it's for my good. As much as it hurts, him pushing me away actually benefits me. If I'm around him and his negativity, it lowers my frequency. That's why I didn't ever, when I got back in the state, that's why I didn't, when I went home to see my mom, who I haven't talked to all year, and to see him, my stepfather, to explain to them why I hadn't talked to them in a year. I didn't even ask to live there because it's bad for my soul. Like I said, it caused my addiction. And it's just an extremely insufficient way to live. I'll just say that. Meaning, I'm not my soul can't be itself, can't thrive, can't shine, can't love how it wants to around someone that's cold and detached from God and overly concerned about what's next on the news, what school shooting, what murder happened, what is President stupid ass doing, blah, 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 blah. The Matrix feeds you a whole bunch of crap, and that's all it is, lies and crap. When you learn that, when you turn it off, is the day you become liberated. So, do the inner work, go within, in meditation and contemplation, through grounding and breath work and inspiration, and you will find God will be there. God will help you, guide you. God will help you find the solutions to why you're not thriving, why you're not happy, why your frequency isn't high. And when you finally arrive at that love vibration, there is no drug on this earth like it. Trust me, I've had almost all of them. None of them come a billionth of a way to it. It's just not heroin, nothing. And heroin would be what those that do drugs would say it's the closest to, but this is like an aware, warm, totally happy, totally present feeling, not an aloof, asleep, dream, warm feeling. This is a feeling, until you feel it, no one can explain to you. It is out of this world, literally. No religion is going to get you there because they don't teach it. I'm not going to say no religion. There could be a religion out there that teaches it. I don't know that for sure. There could be branches of the Masons that do teach it. Obviously, the Masons have been infiltrated, like everything else on this planet, and corrupted and twisted, turned upside and inverted like Satan does. But the 33rd degree Mason means an ascended master. Free my son. Free, M-A-S-O-N. Free my son. Meaning liberate my son. Join him with God. Free him from the matrix. 33 being the years Jesus was on the earth, or as I think it is, the metaphor of the 33 years on the earth. He died and was resurrected, meaning he ascended at 33. When you die to the world, you ascend to the heavens and are connected spiritually to God in the heavens and the angels, which I believe is the true meaning of the 33 in the Bible, talked about on Jesus' death. 33 vertebrae in your spine, quite a coincidence. Where does the chrism have to travel to get to your brain, to your pineal? 33, I guess, has to travel up the 33 vertebrae, the stairway to heaven, Jacob's ladder. Once you know the truth, you start seeing all the synchronicities that God has left for you. Now, until you know them, and of course, you're going to be blind to them. But once you get a good teacher, once you become connected in meditation, contemplation, introspection, these truths come to you. These aha moments happen quite often. In your meditations. And if those around you aren't connected and aren't meditating and aren't doing the spiritual work, it's hopeless trying to explain it to them. It's going to go right over their heads. Rather, it's going to go right into their left brain and not their right brain. It's two totally different frequencies. And they don't understand each other. They're not compatible. The Bible says to tithe 10%. The 10% is the down brain, the left brain, the 10% of your brain capacity. So it's saying ascend above your left brain, egoic way of life. Ascend to the higher plane, the higher realms, the higher spiritual consciousness, the higher awareness. It's not telling you to give 10% to the Roman Catholic pedophiles. Would God really say that? So this is what we mean when we say the Bible isn't literal. The Bible is metaphor and allegorical. This is what it means. And trust me, once you start seeing these things like Solomon's Temple in 9/11, once you start seeing these things, once you're connected, you don't read the Bible the same. It's two different brains interpreting the words totally different. So that is it for this message. Coming up on an hour long. Didn't even mean to go 10 minutes. But this is kind of some of the stuff you have to look forward to in the future. The video production and quality will be stepped up in the future, as I've said in the past. But right now, we're just going to do whatever we can, get out as much truth as we can to help people in the future. As I said, my videos are being shadow banned. Nobody is seeing them right now, which is fine. I'm not worried about it. Even nobody ever sees it, but I know that's not the way things are going to pan out. God will shine a spotlight on me, and these videos are going to go viral. I'm not saying that out of ego. It only pleases me because people are going to hear the truth. People are going to get wisdom that they've never heard because it's been hidden. They've been lied to, and the Matrix has thrown every distraction humanly possible at you in order to keep you from it. It is out there, but it is for beings to have the truth in its entirety is very rare. My teacher I mean, I would say we all don't have it in its entirety until you raise your chrism, including me is what I'm saying, including my teacher, but I think he's raised his through sacred sex. I believe he got there already. He dropped his body, he said. He astral travels, he's lucid dreams. And when you get to that level, you're pretty much there. You've raised your chrism. You've anointed yourself with the oil of gladness. You've seen God face to face in a land called pineal, the pineal gland, not a land. That's in the Bible as well. So yeah, that's it. I'm getting off, I swear. Anyhow, thanks for listening. Till next time. You know the deal. I love you. God loves you more. Stay blessed. Stay focused on God. Go within, do the work. If you want to change your outer world to reflect your inner world, as above, so below, as within, so without, and watch your world change. I thank you for listening. Take care.